welcome back. Saharan dust with us now. A little dip in the air quality because of it. Some haze in the sky, 95 degrees out. And again, a little reduction in the air quality with the Saharan dust in place. We do have a feel-like temperature heat index of 107. The dust will ebb and flow this week. We'll see a decrease in it tomorrow, less, way less on Wednesday, and then more coming in as we approach the weekend. Tropics very active. Chris came and went over the weekend. It's now a remnant low in Mexico. We've got Beryl and then another tropical wave behind Beryl. Not terribly concerned about that. Beryl is going to be the primary feature on the forecast board. Again, a major category 4 hurricane, very symmetrical, very well-defined eye, moving fast west to northwest. 21 miles per hour. There's going to be some hurdles for Beryl to overcome in the Caribbean as it continues to the west. You'll note the weakening as it progresses farther west down to tropical storm status in the southwestern Gulf. But before it gets there, it's going to have to get through some wind shear in the Caribbean. That's one of the reasons why you see those categories lower as it moves farther west. So wind shear in the central part of the Caribbean. There's also more dust out there, and Beryl's going to be working through that. So dust tends to mitigate development. It doesn't just erase everything, but it makes it a little bit harder for storms to really get robust. So Beryl's going to have to get through that en route to the Yucatan and eventually the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. So the spaghetti plot on this, with high pressure to the north of the storm Friday, should suppress any northward movement to this point. Very good agreement in the weather data to move toward the Yucatan. This is on Friday, and this is when we're going to see this storm move over the Yucatan. Let's just stop right here, because if this is a little farther south and we see an interaction with land or go through the thicker part of the Yucatan, we would see more weakening with this storm. If this stays north, some of the guidance, some of the high-res stuff wants to stay farther north, we would see a lot less of a weakening effect with respect to what the Yucatan does to it if it's on the northern side of the forecast envelope. And then into next week, this weekend, early next week, this is Sunday, that high that's over us right now will be moving to the east, and that's going to open up at least the possibility of a bend to the north. A lot of the guidance wants to push it toward Mexico, kind of the way we've seen with the last 3 systems. A lot of the guidance is right there, but a few want to turn it north. So that's where the bulk is. These are the outliers at this point, but with that high moving to the east, there is an avenue. You know, I'm not going to say it's not out of the question. So the thoughts right now is, how much land interaction does Beryl have with Central America? More interaction with land will make a weaker storm in the southwestern Gulf. Where's the high pressure over the weekend and early next week? That's what we were just looking at. And then right now, if I had to say something, I'm leaning toward a weaker storm with a more south or west track toward Mexico over the weekend and or early next week. So lots can change. This is still almost a week out. We're going to watch it. That's the latest right now. 78 tonight, warm and humid under mainly clear skies. Tomorrow, looking at 96, a heat index up around 110, a little bit of haze out there, some wind gusts up to around 20 miles per hour. If you're out on the water, 88 on the sea surface temperature, still an elevated rip current risk with Chris moving into Mexico. The waves 2 to 3 feet at a 7-second period, and over the next 7 days, that haze does return Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4th of July, hot and humid. Each day could offer a little low-end isolated or rogue sea breeze shower, but mid-90s, heat index up around 110, and then that Sunday, Monday time frame, that rain and acknowledgement of, you know, we could get some moisture at that point. Still up in the air as far as what Beryl does in the southwestern Gulf. And that's the latest as of right now. So we'll keep close tabs on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, Alan. Well, as we